Okay, so what I'm looking at currently for price action. So do I need to do the date like Jim does? Should I do that? It's December 22nd, 2022. It's the evening update, guys. I am next of all trades. And no, I'm just kidding. We're just hanging out. And I was asked, who asked if I can look at current price action? Oh, okay. So, Seth, this is for you then. Let's take a look. So I don't have my actual trading view chart in here, so you guys aren't going to be seeing what I'm seeing on my trading view chart. But what we can do is I can go like this. So this is another cool thing, guys, that you can do with Exocharts. You notice, right? There's tools here, there's Fibonacci, there's rectangles, there's trend lines. You can also add levels. So like if you have a level on your chart you're looking at, just double click where the price scale is, and then click there, and you can label that whatever you want to put it. Like if that's a point of control, if that's a value area, if that's an order block, and then you can just enter in where that price level is. So that's really helpful. Um, so let's go. I haven't really done any counting. I mentioned in the chat in our group, guys, that I've been working. I had mentioned Paxful, so that's been keeping me pretty busy. And I'm actually long from down here at this 16.2 level that I shared in the group. Maybe it was last week or something. I'm still long from there. I haven't taken any profits. Haven't done any of that. So I look at this as a 5 wave up and then 3 waves down. And now I'm just looking for a continuation. So in the order flow, what I'm seeing here, just off a glance, is this low does not look like a good low. I think we'll eventually come to revisit it. So that's something that I'm seeing. Let's go over here. We don't have any NPOCs. So what are NPOCs? Really quick, NPOCs are just like from one day. It takes the whole entire day and it takes the point of control from that day. So if price, how can I use this as an example? So we can see here that this day, which was December 15th, so this was about, what was that, 7 days ago? About a week ago, right? Um, price closed down here, somewhere down here, and it left the point of control for that day up here. So what an NPOC is it's a resistance. So when price comes to revisit it, it acts as a resistance, and then that's something you can use to take a short off of, or if it's below us, you can look to take a long off of. Now you find these on all different time frames on a daily, weekly, and monthly. So if it's on a daily time frame, well, you can expect that since it's a daily NPOC, I got a good day trade right here. If I see confluence and I see a count that lines up with this level, which was 17K, that's most likely a good day trade. So not a scalp, but a day. Same thing for the weekly. If it's a weekly NPOC, well, then you would expect your trade to last as long as the time frame that you're looking at. So if it's a weekly NPOC, you can literally you can look to hold that trade for about a week. You got to be patient, but that's generally that's the theory behind that. And then for a monthly NPOC, you can kind of presume that okay, maybe we got a good swing trade on our hands if things are lining up. But back to this, back to the order flow. So I don't see any resistance or support anymore. We kind of cleaned all that up as far as session point of controls go, and as far as naked point of controls go. So now when I look at this, let's just kind of not even think about Elliott waves and just think purely order flow. When I look at this, I see that from the bottom, we first of all we front run the golden zone, which is at 16,559. Let me just put that there as the 618. So at least we have some kind of visual here. 16,559. Let's label that. We're going to 618. Okay. So we'll just leave that like that. So you can see here, we front run that 618. Now, if you can kind of look at the front runs in two ways, right? You can either look at that as that's really bullish or this is unfinished business. So I kind of look at this as unfinished business because if I look at the order flow, you see price come down, at least unfinished for the moment. You know what I mean, or finished, I should say, for the moment, for the time being. I mean, if we come to revisit that tonight, you don't know, right? I mean, we don't ever know. If we come visit that tomorrow or next week, we can't say. But off of this, what I see is what happened here is we had 37 million in volume, negative 12 million in delta, right? And then we've seen price come down again. It takes this low, no swing failure pattern though. So maybe we can consider this a bit of a failed auction because price comes back down and revisits again, but this time on 17 million volume, negative 6 million delta. But we don't see follow through. We see immediately price just move in the opposite direction. So what we can kind of think, let's turn on the rect really quick. Rect means liquidity. So where are people being liquidated? We can see a lot of liquidations occurring here. If we turn this on, we can see how much. That can give us some context as well to if we have enough liquidity or not. So as we come down in this 37 million, negative 12 million delta, we can see that $48,000 was liquidated right there, along liquidated. So we grabbed something good there. 46 million, I'm sorry, 46,000 here. So we can see what liquidity is being grabbed. When you're seeing stuff like this, let's say we assume that we had a 5-wave up and this was a completion of our 3-wave down and we're seeing liquidity and we're seeing that it's at a support zone near the golden zone. We can kind of say, okay, maybe we got enough here to reverse for the time being. Now, if you are on your trading view and you actually pull a fixed range tool, what was that? Yeah, so if you pull a fixed range tool from the 16th of December, I got mine at 5:30, 16th of December, that high right there at 17,073, $17,073. And then you pull it to current price action. What you can see is that this area right here, although we didn't hit the golden zone, we came outside of the value area low. And normally when you're outside of the value area low, right, you look for longs, right, and take it back into the value area. So where we are right now, and it's man, I wish I could share my actual trading view chart with you guys right now, but for the sake of time, we'll just keep it here on Exo. There you go. You can see the value areas right there. I turned on previous day levels. This is another good thing about Exo. You can turn on the previous day's levels or current day and previous week, previous month, depending on your cup of tea. But you can see here, we come out the value area low of the previous day. So we come out right back up to the value area high. So we're trading in a range, essentially, is what we're doing. We're just range bound at the moment. That's it. We're just range bound. Now, when I look at this, now, do I see anything that shows me that we're going to break out? Not at the moment. No, I don't. I see increasing longs. Okay, so here we go. From the value area low, right? Previous day's value area low, kind of slightly front run that 618. We can see that new longs started coming in. New long, new long, new long, new long. Big longs, shorts closing, right? But decreasing open interest. That's telling you people aren't interested. And where did this come in? At the previous day value area high, where you got this big decrease. And so what was our attempt at this high? 38 million in volume, 3 million in positive delta. What's our next attempt? Let's look for our next buying attempt. So this was selling. This is buying. 6.2 million in volume, 2.5 million in positive delta. Let's look at our next buying attempt. 5.7 in volume, 2.8 million in positive delta. So we're decreasing here. Volume's decreasing. Delta, I mean, you got $300,000 more, but yet we're still decreasing, right? I mean, you can see the reaction here, swing failure pattern of this high right here, and the high of this candle. Take that high, close below the previous day's open. So essentially what I see here is we're range bound. So I wouldn't be surprised if price just comes down a little bit, at least to the VWAP weekly open, or maybe even comes back down and takes this low out. Like it's finished for now, but I mean, that's not a good low where I'm going to think, okay, we're just going to start moving up from here. What we are seeing though is late longs. We're seeing longs that are late. So remember, context is important. When you're trading at a range, what would the market most likely do? I mean, so let's just assume like, okay, this is the low of the move. This is the high of the move. What does the market normally do when people are longing at the high of the move? Well, it's going to wreck them because you don't buy at the highs, just like you don't sell at the lows, right? Up here, you want to be selling, looking for sells. if you have a reason. My overall general context of this is I think we're going to go to 17.4. There's an order block up there that I really like in a golden zone. So I'm not really in any of a hurry to make any decisions right now. I'm pretty comfortable in my position. So with that being said, being that there's late longs, and what do I mean late longs? Well, you can see right here where the net longs are. There's longs, new longs opening. So this has already happened. This move has already happened, right? It's already happened, but you're seeing new longs. Now, if new longs are going to come in, that means we need the power to support it, right? If these longs are not going to get wrecked, then we need that buying power to step in. Well, what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing volume from 38 million to where price is currently at 74K in volume, only 11K in delta. But remember, this is a 30-minute candle. We still have 29 minutes to go. That can change. But at the same time, when we look at it from where we we come to about previous day's value area high, but we're not seeing follow through in the volume. We're not seeing follow through in the delta. We're seeing it late. We're seeing it really, really late. So unless this is a part of a correction here that we're going through, and that's why we're not seeing it, I just it's for me it's pretty simple. Right now we're just range bound. Maybe when we get off of this live, I'll do a count, but I wouldn't call myself proficient enough to be counting for you guys on a live and
I'll
potentially
do.
persuade someone to listen to me. Because again, most of my analysis is I'm more of I come from a technical background. So a lot of my trading has to do with technical analysis, but I do use Elliott waves. But like I said, I don't think I'm proficient enough to be coming on here sharing my 2 cents about some counts. Um, Yeah, I mean the only trade there is a short, right? Because we're at the high value area high, and so it would be like short or no trade if you're not in from lower, or just wait for price to come down. But yeah, it's like nothing's changed. We drop down to clear some liquidity, we come right back up to clear it to the upside. But really, when you look at the chart, we haven't even taken the high. So uh, if you look at the high from today, which was at well, it says 0.33 on my chart. Uh, that's not helpful. So it was just like maybe from 12 o'clock this afternoon. The high that we had before we made this move down. I don't know why it's showing my time as 00:30. That sucks. I would say that's noon. Um, but yeah, we haven't even taken the high. I mean, it really hasn't done anything. So maybe this is more of a square up, and then we go back down. But I look at this as yes, range bound, but also people market makers probably still deciding where we're going to go here. But as it stands right now in the order flow, I don't see nothing at the moment that signifies that we're gonna continue to push. I mean, volume's dead. So we'd have to wait till like London, see where price is at during London, and kind of go from there. It does. So that would be the first level of support that I'd be looking at. So because there's no, and so don't be surprised, right, if we see price come down to the VWAP, because what we see in the order flow is that volume is dying. Delta is not increasing, but people are trying to buy up here. That's a mistake because there's not enough support. Remember, Delta means the Delta refers to the aggressive orders at market, right? And there's no aggressive orders here at market right now. This was probably the best one at 3.4 million delta, but the volume's decreased. I mean, from 38 million to 6.9 to 6.2 to 5.7 to 4. So I wouldn't be surprised. Don't be surprised if price comes down and hit the VWAP and even take this low right here, because this is typical of what new traders like to do. They see the move that has already happened, and then they start buying it, and buying it, and they put their stop loss just below that first candle after that pump candle closed, then you get that next candle. It's typical. Traders do that. And that's a big mistake because that's where the VWAP is, unfortunately, and the weekly open. So those are the first levels of support. So all these lines that I have on my chart, they're not just for play. They're actually like tradable. They're tradable levels. So the first support comes in at the VWAP, which is in confluence with the weekly open. That's support. If we lose that, the next level we look to monthly value area low, which I would presume is not going to be as support. Remember, value areas are not support. Value areas are just general areas where you want to be looking for buying, right? If you're at a value area low, you want to be looking to buy price back into value, assuming that volume and delta are not increasing with open interest and new shorts to the downside. If we lose the weekly open in the VWAP, I have the feeling that this low, that front ran that 618, it might be taken out. It just might be taken out. But then again, we have to remember different time frames, right? So when we look at the daily time frame, if you go over to the daily time frame, that was a big liquidity run. Look at that wick. If you go to the daily time frame, it was a wick and then it comes right back up. So what we could be doing is forming some type of fractal on the daily time frame, forming a fractal. So I don't know. By the look of the wick on the daily time frame, I would say for the time being, that low is okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So, we might continue to just like maybe one candle comes down and we back test. So what would that be? Golden zone from here to here. And put that there. So 16,681. If we were to come down, I would be looking there. But again, that just brings us right back to our previous day value area low. So essentially, in a short summary, I'd just say range bound. So as price continues to develop, we can count, right? Do our counts, see what we're coming up with. But I wouldn't be too hasty to short or long if you're not already in a short from higher or in a long from lower. And just kind of let things develop here.
Yeah, because you're kind of in the middle of the range. You don't take trades in the middle of the range. You have to look for a
Yeah,
setup.
that's 50-50. That's gambling. That's what I consider gambling in the middle of a range and taking a trade. I mean, unless you're, I'm not even going to say that. That's just gambling.
Flip a coin. Up or
Yeah,
down, guys.
that's yeah, exactly. So that's 50-50 where it could go because right at the end of the day, this could also be like, I don't know, maybe this is an A wave that we had, this pump. I haven't counted, but this could be A wave. Say we come down in a B wave, bull flag 382 maybe, and then we pump up and then take the high at 17K and then come back down, right? So we always got to remember, like I'm sure Chemo probably covered this, but there's zones within zones, right? There's ranges within ranges, but I always try to just look at the bigger range and kind of wait for those boundaries of the bigger range rather than the mini range. Now, if I'm trading the mini range, then I'm not trying to hold a trade for more than I need to. It's just a scalp. I'm in and out. But there's no volume in here to give us that. There's just not. I mean, it's a well. Let's go on the 5 minute time frame. See what's going on here. And you see how this looks more like blocks, right? You guys notice that? It just looks blocky. You don't see. It doesn't look like this, does it? It doesn't look like that. What that shows you on the smaller time frame is that I have to go down in my tick size because volume is non-existent. And now look at it. Now it looks different, doesn't it? And even then, you're only seeing like two ticks, two ticks, two. There's just no volume in here that would fill any order that I would place. You got to go down to like 5 ticks to really make sense of this, right? And in my opinion, guys, that ain't worth it. That trading here is not worth it. And look, what do you see there? Look at that. There's the high. There's current price action. There's CVD. This is the high. Here's current price action. That is a massive bearish divergence. So now let's kind of piece this together. So we come from the previous day's value area low, right? Outside of previous day's value area low, front run the 618. We come back up into the previous day's value area, hit the previous day value area high to the dollar, right? To the dollar. Look at that. to the dollar. We hit previous day's value area high. But only now people are starting to long. Longs are getting aggressive. Uh, is that a triangle? Yeah, it's probably not a triangle, but context, right? We can start to piece this together now. So value area, we come back, test the previous day's value area high, but now and only now, longs are getting active when they should be getting not active. And they shouldn't be longing in an area where there's no volume. Like there's just no volume here. Interesting though, isn't it? We look at the VWAP, so it actually resets um, on Exocharts as well. So I'm wondering why my VWAP's not okay. It is reset. There it is. So this one that you see right here that I referred to as okay, I would imagine this is the first support. This is yesterday's VWAP. So you know how when the VWAP resets and then you get that weird line wherever price is at? Well, this is where it ended before that happened at the open. So you can use those as support and resistance too. That's why when you look over here on my sessions template, that's what those dotted lines are. And they act as support and resistance too. You can see this one. Price comes down, finds support in this region, and you get the buying tail. And then you get that move up, which probably looks like 5%. Maybe, yeah, maybe 5%, maybe more. No, this was 5%. This was 16.2. This was at 16.2. Yeah, this was at 16. This was like 5%. So you can see that you can get good trades off of that too. You can use these levels, guys. Support and resistance. VWAPs, previous day VWAP closes, NPOCs, session point controls, previous day levels. They work like a charm. I mean, look, previous day's high was hit to the freaking dollar. To the dollar. The more I zoom in, the more perfect it is. I mean, look at that. Incredible.
Could you show me your footprint, the bar statistics setting as well for me? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. So what do you want to see? Do you want to see the candles, the delta, the CBD?
I don't. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just want to see how it's set up because on mine it's different. So I'm just curious to see what yours is set up as. At the bottom, we have the footprint statistics, bar statistics, all the way down. No, all the way down to your chart at the bottom.
Oh, down here.
Under net shorts. Yeah.
Under. Oh yeah, this one.
Setting. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
This one.
You know what? I can't see it. Yeah, no, I can't see. I guess when you open up the setting bar, I can't see what you have on your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, all I use is volume, delta. I use delta, I use the regular delta, and then the second one because I have two deltas, right? So that second one is just a percentage delta. And for anybody who doesn't know, which I'm sure it's most of the group, right? The percentage delta is also like a bit of an aid because it just shows you who's in control. So again, this 4 million volume, 3.4 million in positive delta, this was buyers. So you know buyers are getting aggressive here because 85% of this candle, 85% of it was buyers. Now, if we look at this pump candle that went to this previous day value area high, well, it was only 8% buyers. So what does that mean? Is that this candle, even though it looks like a pump candle, even though it's green, even though it's really pumpish, sellers are in control of this candle, not buyers. So that's another heads up too, right? Because now that's another piece of the pie. That's another ingredient we can add to building a case that this is not going to go up potentially, right? Let's just assume we have a count that say, okay, time for a correction. Okay, let's look at this candle right here. It was only 8% of buyers in control. So that means the remaining 92% of this candle is selling. So if the remaining 92% of this candle is selling and then you see buying die off, yeah, bro, there's somebody hiding in there. And now what do we know? If this was mostly sellers and someone's hiding, and then now you got all these new late longs opening up and all this new money, well, someone being sneaky because there is a a bearish divergence right there. There's a bearish divergence. Look at where price is going. Price is going down right now, but CVD is above the high. Price is going down. CVD is above the high. So,
but as you said though, I think context is important, right? So because we're leading into the holiday season, or the holiday weekend, I don't think we're going to have the volume. But at the same time, as I mentioned to you, I use Ishimoku as well. And Ishimoku is building a floor, a very strong floor of support. So although there's no volume right now, I think it's just ranging.
yep, yeah, that's what it could be too. That's why I said, like, could this be a B wave? Because of what is that? A, B, C, D, E. I don't know though. I'm not persuaded to that. But that is, you're true. That's correct, 100%. Because sometimes price does do that, where everything just dies off, and then say London comes in, and then it just makes an attempt at the high, or New York, or mainly New York or London. But yeah,
Right.
with this bearish CBD
Also,
divergence and then volume dying, I mean, it's
right.
possible. I'm just not persuaded. I'm not convinced right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to wait until Tuesday because Boxing Day is on Monday in England, and on Ishimoku we have based on it's almost like a time theory on Ishimoku that I think the Tuesday is when we're going to have I guess more movement is on Tuesday, so we'll see.
Yeah, and then look at this too. So again, this is the 30-minute time frame. On the 5-minute might look a little different, but if you just take from the high to that retracement low, I mean, look at where it's finding its resistance as well. So if you pull that fixed range volume profile tool on your trading view, we're at the point of control, which is this right here. Hold on, I'll mark it on the chart. 16,817 for the mini range. 16,817. 16,817. I'll mark that point of control. Look at that confluence. Okay. Price coming up with a pump candle, what looks to be a pump candle, with really 92% of this is sellers being in control. Bearish divergence, point of control of the mini range, golden pocket, no candle closes above, none on the 30-minute time frame. No closes above. So
can you pull the CC on the 4-hour? Pull the CC on the 4-hour.
Okay. So actually we didn't hit this one.
And we're
I was
also
waiting on
I was
waiting on this one because
we're then, if you pull from the top to the bottom to the top, I mean, we're in a CC as well at the bottom, so we're really just range bound.
Yeah, so if we take it from the bottom, yeah, look at that. I mean, perfect touch right there. So now looking at this on the 4-hour, and then remembering, right, how the daily closed, that was a big wick to the downside and close above. That daily could just be turned into an order block. It honestly could. It could come down again, take some of this liquidity, maybe this, because it front ran, right? Let's pull the CC.
And how about the CC at the bottom? Yeah, at the bottom, right? Yeah,
let's pull it from there too, so that we can be transparent on both ends. So yeah, look, I mean, let me turn this off so we can turn off the 0, turn off the 1, and take a look. Okay, so on the 4-hour, it looks like we hit that, right? It looks like we hit that golden zone. All right, hold on.
Right. So we're just ranging in between those two levels. So we'll see what happens, I guess, in the next few days.
So there, oh gosh dang it. I hate when that happens. Hold on. So right there, I'm trying to get that as perfect as I can get it. And I wish it had a magnet on Exocharts, but it doesn't. And then from that high right there, and then it's just a slight front run. It's just when you look at it on the lower time frame, it doesn't look great. I mean, it could go back higher, but what I'm seeing, the context, right, of where we came from, where we are now, and what's happening, and it just looks like we gotta be patient a little bit, and that there might be a little bit of a retracement. Maybe even come down, take this out, right, on the daily time frame, get another wick down, and then another move back, like a pump back to the upside, right? Like come down, fake out, and then just really run it back up. But looking at this 4-hour close, that doesn't look like a nice 4-hour rejection. So even if price does come back down, this right there, there's no depth to this rejection. This right here, if it comes down, it could probably just come back up again because that looks like unfinished business, right? Look at these highs. Look at this. Look at these highs. They're just like hugging. No liquidity grab. There's liquidity. Wait, did it take that high? Nope. Double top right there. There's a double top. And then you got stop losses here, stop losses here, stop losses here, stop losses, just stop losses in this whole zone right here. Liquidity in this zone. So poor low on the low time frame. 4 hour kind of looks better though. I mean, this low looks better than this high. I'll be honest. But yeah.
How about your daily level? The daily level as well.
My daily level.
Yeah.
Let me see. Because we did hit that daily support. No, we did not hit that daily support. So the daily level that I have, the next daily support is at 16,429. And we also have a daily resistance. There's daily resistance just above us. So at 16,890. So there's resistance here. 16,890 and 17. You know what this reminds me of? This little range here. It reminds me of when we were in that range at 20,000. When I was looking for price to take out 20,520. That high that was at 20,520 just would not get taken out for like the longest. It finally did, but it just wouldn't take it for the longest. This kind of is like symbolic of that. Like this high at 17,073, it just is like, just take that high. Because really, we haven't changed market structure until we take that high. We really haven't. So this daily engulfing candle looks convincing, but it still hasn't taken out that high. And right now, it's not taking the high out at 17,053 or 17,054, whatever it is. It's not taking that out either yet. So I think range bound, at least for the time being, until we get some more information. What we can see though, it looks like it might just build up. If you look at the 4 hour here, the CVD line, you see where how low this came down? And then you see how the CVD didn't really go up. It didn't really follow price because look at this high. Now look at this pump candle in the 4 hour. Now look at the CVD. It came up next to this high, right? This pump candle came up to this high, but on CVD, it's way down here. So what I'm thinking is it might just even come back down to test the low or just retrace of some sort, but create a bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame, 30-minute. Just create that bullish divergence. I don't know. We'll see. I know that once we end.
How about the single prints up top? The single prints up top, though, right? Didn't you also use those as well in your analysis?
I use single prints. Yeah, I love single prints. Hey, Susan, you're giving them away the gems. I didn't show them this yet. But yeah,
that's a very useful tool. So it's good for them to know that. It's good for them to know that.
Yeah, this is another reason why I said 17.4 because look at where the single print is, 17.350. Single prints are just like essentially like an imbalance in the market, guys. When price just like it's called like one timing or creating single prints where price just moves like impulsively, like just really violent, volatile move in one direction, creating single prints. And essentially what those are imbalances. So the market moves from balance to imbalance. And eventually those single prints need to be filled. You find single prints on different time frames. You find them on the chart. There's more single prints above us as well. So there are single prints that need to be filled, and the market does fill the single prints. It will always fill the single prints. Single prints can act like support or resistance, but if price gets acceptance inside of the single prints, you look for that whole row of single prints to be filled. Now, in this case, there's only 5 single prints, at least on this chart that I'm looking at right here on the sessions. There might be more single prints on a TPO chart, but those are different lessons for a different day. But no, Susan, that just kind of plays into my bias for that 17.4. And that's kind of what this could be. You never know. I mean, if it doesn't take this high over here, 17,073. If it doesn't take that high and it just kind of blasts through it, yeah, that's the next level I'm looking at, which is this order block right here. This order block right.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. And if it doesn't take that out, it's going down to the 16.3, the next single prints at the bottom.
And so when you feel that golden zone, CC, I mean, there's reasons, right, to reject there. I think there's reasons. I mean, there's a single print, there's a single print, there's the order block, and there's the golden pocket right there. And then you got this, there's stop losses here. There's I guarantee there's stop losses right there.
Yeah, and you also have a data level is there as well.
Here.
Yeah, and a data level as well. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah,
so those are that's just what I'm looking at. If we break, that's just an if. Now, I think if we do take these, if we come back and revisit these highs again, I don't see it acting as good resistance again. I don't. I think it's going to be flipped into support, or it's just going to get blasted through. So that's my opinion on that from a technical point of view. No closing statements. Just if you guys enjoyed the stream, and you guys want to know more about, like I said, the CVD, the volume, open interest, net longs, net shorts, and even some of these other templates, and even single prints. I think single prints is, man, you guys could probably make, a lot of money off of single prints. Just let me know. Let me know in the Discord. If you guys end up downloading, like I said earlier, downloading Exocharts, and you have any questions, if you want these templates if you want this template that you're looking at right now, I can share it in the Discord for free. Any of the templates, I got them for free. So I mean, I'm going to give it for free, and I think that it'll be beneficial to everybody if you guys give it a go and just see how you enjoy it, implement it with your Elliott wave strategy, implement it with your order block strategy, any kind of TA strategy. I think you guys will find it beneficial, and I think you'll find it much more easier when you're trading in the market because you'll see what's going on. Looks like we're probably actually going to move up. Yeah, that wick from yesterday, that was a good wick, a good stop hunt right there. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your time. I truly appreciate it, and I hope that I was able to
hit the like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Subscribe to Jim of All Trades. Tell him that it's going down over here.